Good morning, fellow Hoops fans. Welcome back to another episode of The Last Shot NBA show right here on Little Birdie TV. As always, brought to you by our great mates over there at topsport.com.au. Now, we're a couple of weeks into the NBA season. We're starting to get a better understanding of, how teams are performing, how they're looking, how certain players are playing as well. And of course, it's Friday morning. We've got both our big guns locked and loaded to give us their knowledge this morning. We're going to bring on Andrew Parkinson a little bit later on. But first, we welcome old mate Benyam Kidane from NBA Australia. BK, my brother, good morning.
Hey, how you doing, my man? What's happening?
I'm doing good, man. I am doing good. Life is good. I'm enjoying the NBA season. Arsenal are winning games in the Premier League. It's all happening for me. BK, let's get stuck into it straight away because, like I said, we're starting to get a better understanding now of, how teams are playing, how they're looking. And we've got so far two teams, one team in each conference that are sort of leading the way and sort of, are probably going to be the favorites to win their particular conferences maybe at the end of the season. And that's both the Milwaukee Bucks and the Phoenix Suns. They've both started off well. The Suns are 6-1. The Milwaukee Bucks are the only undefeated team in the league at the moment at 7-0 following their win against the Pistons yesterday. The Suns are leading the West by a game over the surprising Portland Trail Blazers and Utah Jazz. The Suns have generally been a pretty good regular season team, BK, as evidenced by last year's, league best 64 wins. The Milwaukee Bucks are always thereabouts as well. I'm going to start with you because we're going to ask ourselves a question today, but I'm going to start with you, BK. Which one of these teams has impressed you most so far?
It's tough because both have been really good, but I've probably been more surprised by the Phoenix Suns than the Milwaukee Bucks. I was very convinced of the Bucks this season, but just given everything that happened with the Suns in the offseason, and there was a lot of turmoil around the organization, but the players have just kind of put that aside, and they've been out there handling their business. Devin Booker looks incredible, and Chris Paul leading the league in assists in year 18, is it for him?
Yeah, something like that. I mean, he's aged 73, so he's...
But the Suns are getting it done on both ends as well. I've got either the number one offense and the number 5 defense. That's a pretty good recipe for success in the small sample size Hall of Fame we've got going on right now.
All right, I'm not mad at that argument there, BK, but I'm going to hit you with my counterpoint right here, okay? Because you said that you're more surprised by the Suns, especially given their off-season, turmoil or everything that went around that team. But this is my counterpoint to that. The Phoenix Suns need to get it done in the playoffs. We know that they're a good regular season team. Like I said, they put up the numbers last year, 64 wins in the regular season. Look, let's call it what it is, BK. That was a choke in the playoffs, right? That was a choke, because I thought last year, if you go back and watch any of our episodes, I thought they were my pick to win it last year. I felt like it was open for them to win it last year. The year before, I don't know if you can call it a choke, but they were 2-0 up in the NBA Finals, the one in the bubble, right? That Milwaukee came back and won. So I don't know if you can call that a choke because Giannis went absolutely atomic after that. So I don't know if that's a choke or not, but they haven't been able to get it done in the playoffs and in the NBA Finals when it counts. So I'm going to go with the Milwaukee Bucks as being more impressive for me so far this year. Surprise, surprise. The Bucks are a team that normally, look, if we look at their record in the past, I think they've had the third best record in the East the last 2 seasons, the best record in the East the 2 seasons before that. But they're generally a team that likes to peak toward the playoff, right? Towards the playoffs and have everybody in full swing at that point. So for them to be 7-0 at the moment with no Chris Middleton, they look like they're on a mission, BK. And in particular, Giannis looks like he's on a mission. Like, so far, he's averaging 33.6 points in just 33 minutes on 56.9% shooting, 12.7 rebounds, and 5 assists. Drops mic. There you go. It's the Milwaukee Bucks for me, BK.
Hey, look, I know Luka Doncic is hooping right now, but is Giannis your guy for MVP?
Listen, Yeah, Doncic is hooping, right? And Parky and I spoke about this on the show on Wednesday, right? And he's putting up some phenomenal numbers. I think he's the first guy since Jordan to have 30-plus points in the first 7 games or something along those lines. So he's putting up ridiculous numbers, right? But the Mavericks are 4-3. They're 4-3, and that counts. Like, if you're a most valuable player, I'm sorry, the record counts. It's why, for me, you agreed last year, we both had Embiid as our MVP over Jokic, because they ended up finishing, what was the 4th seed or something like that. So records count. Like, if Giannis puts up these type of numbers, the Milwaukee Bucks end up winning, let's say, 57 games. I won't even put them at 60. 57 games. They top the East, and he's putting up these numbers. And, Luka continues to put up ridiculous numbers, and the Mavs end up 4th in the West or 5th, wherever they end up. I'm sorry, you've got to give it to Giannis. He was my preseason pick for MVP anyway. Listen, just give him the trophy now if he puts up these numbers.
Hey, you got to factor in the storyline too. That counts. That counts for some reason.
Yeah, that's the thing. It counts, unfortunately, in the NBA, right? It counts, and there could be some voter fatigue of people sort of maybe sick of Giannis won 2 in a row. Now Jokic has won 2 in a row. We've spoken about that, and they might want to give it to Luka, but these numbers, like, I'm looking at them and they're popping out at me from my screen. Like, they're just ridiculous numbers in just 33 minutes a night. Like, come on. Yeah. What else does he have to do? And
let's remember, we are 7 games into the season.
Listen, all right, but BK, we got to get carried. We got time. We got time. We got to get carried away a little bit. You know what I mean? But yeah, for me, the Bucks have been great to start the season. Again, like you said, it's very early, but they've been super impressive for me.
Yeah, don't be surprised if this is a rematch of the finals from a couple of years ago.
Yeah, listen, I'm here for it. You know what I mean? Because I'm pretty sure the Suns are going to choke another one away.
Hey, they both choked last season.
All right, BK. Next up, we're going to talk about another team. I know you're high on these guys right now. That's the Cleveland Cavaliers, BK. They've got a squad right now. They're currently second in the East to the Bucks. They're at 6-1 following yesterday's 114-113 win over the Boston Celtics. That's actually their second win over the defending Eastern Conference champs this season already. They have the 6th ranked offense, BK. They've got the 2nd best defense in the league. So far, they're shooting what I think is an unsustainable 42.7% from long range. That will not last for the season, but it's been fun to watch so far. They welcomed back Darius Garland yesterday. Donovan Mitchell, in particular, has been on an absolute tear since leaving that hellhole over there in Utah. He's averaging 31.1 points, 48% shooting from the field, 43% shooting from long range, 4.5 rebounds, 7.7 assists. BK, can he be the number 1 guy on a championship level team?
Man, I think he already is, because for me, this Cavs team is a team that's going to be there at the business end of the season, and mostly to the point that you made. Their defense is still incredible. We saw what they did last season, and even Donovan Mitchell, not well renowned as a great defender, even he stepped things up on the defensive side of the floor. But the thing that has really kind of struck me with this Cavs team is exactly what they were missing last season was a closer.
Yeah.
A guy who can just get you a bucket down the stretch. And we saw that against the Celtics. I think Donovan Mitchell had like 9 straight points. Like, this is a guy that they've just empowered to put the ball in his hands and get cooking. Like, I know it's again, small sample size early in the season, but for him averaging 30 this season on this team, that's not crazy to me.
Yeah, and look, we spoke about this last year, BK. It felt like last year, obviously, they were hurt by injuries a lot throughout the season, especially towards the second half. But they've got a good young core of guys there, right? And it just felt like they needed that one more piece, that guy that, like you said, can put the ball in his hand, can make a play. And obviously Donovan Mitchell's got some experience in the league. He's been in the league, 5-6 years now already. So he's got that veteran sort of presence as well. And it just felt like that's what they needed. And now they've got it. They've got it.
And I think Mitchell even said this after the game yesterday. I think this has been the best stretch of my career. Again, small sample size, but to come to a new team and really just be the man from the jump. Like, this was a team that, they have guys like Garland, who, shout out to him as well. He returned yesterday. He looked incredible for them. And they've got a lot of young guys, but he does come into that locker room, as a bit of an experienced guy. He's had semi-deep playoff runs. He's been the guy, on those teams. So bringing a guy like Donovan Mitchell in and seeing just how quickly he's kind of just fit just makes this trade look all the more genius from the Cavaliers.
Yeah, it does. And it kind of makes me regret that the Knicks didn't kind of go all in and try pair him up with Jalen Brunson, because that would have been a hell of a backcourt. Great.
Son, he had 38 on the Knicks too. He was trolling.
Like, come on. It's like, come on.
I'll take it easy.
They're a good team, BK. They're a good team so far. They're fun to watch. Like you said, long way to go. Hopefully they don't get hit by the injury bug. We'll see if they can keep that up. We've got some breaking news from a little bit earlier this morning. I just quickly want to touch on as well, BK. Adrian Wojnarowski, I always fumble that last name. Sorry, Woj. He's been reporting, and a lot of people have been reporting that James Harden, he's had a very solid start to the season despite Philadelphia's struggles. He will miss a month of action after suffering a right foot tendon strain. So yeah, he's going to be out. He's had a pretty good game the other day. He had 24 points, 10 assists, 5 rebounds. So he's been performing, reasonably well. Unfortunately, the 76ers haven't. BK, what do you make of this injury?
I'm not tripping. We got Tyrese Maxey. We're good.
It's the Tyrese Maxey era.
Put your feet up. Tyrese has got it for the next month.
BK, I'm not mad at that analysis from a lifelong Philadelphia fan.
Hard-hitting, unbiased analysis. That's what you're getting here. Yeah. But in all seriousness, this is tough for the 76ers because, as you said, their season hasn't gotten off to a great start. 4-5. They've been very inconsistent. So losing such an important piece like James Harden does nothing for you in terms of kind of building that chemistry with all the new faces on the roster. But I was joking earlier, but I kind of wasn't. Like, Tyrese Maxey has been incredible for the Sixers to start this season. If that's your backup option to put the ball in his hands, I think Philly will be okay.
BK, how's this for a hot take, right? Tyrese Maxey, and you've obviously seen more of Philadelphia being a fan of the 76ers than I have probably in my lifetime, right? How's this for a take? Tyrese Maxey is probably the most electrifying 76er since Allen Iverson.
Okay, all right. Hang on, let me just think here. Yeah, you might be right.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. Like, I don't even think Embiid's really that type of. Like, I mean, he's not that he's not a good player, but he's not that electrifying type of player.
I mean, are we going to count young, high-flying Iguodala in that?
I don't think he's at that level. Yeah, I don't think he's at the levels of what Maxey is now. And Iguodala was a beast with the 76ers.
Yeah, I never even thought about it, but Maxey's one of those guys, like, when he's out on the break, like, you kind of just on the edge of your seat. Something's about to happen every time this guy's got the rock.
Yeah, like,
I'm not mad at that at all.
Yeah, so look, you heard it here first.
I was just going through all the process 76ers in my head, trying to find somebody.
No one from the process 76ers is going to make the cut. All right, BK. Next up, last topic for today, we're going to get to talking about is the surging Los Angeles Lakers. BK, have I been wrong on the Los Angeles Lakers? They've won their second game in a row, surprisingly beating the Pelicans 120-117. The game was sent to overtime by an incredible shot from, not Russell Westbrook, not LeBron James, but it was Matt Ryan. Let's take a quick look at this one here. Not bad, BK. Not bad right there.
Hey, the Lakers need shooting. They got some shooting.
Yeah.
He's by far the best three-point shooter on this team. And shout out to Austin Reeves for that pass as well. Cross-court skip pass into the corner was perfect. But yeah, that was a great win for the Lakers because they were very, very close to being dead and buried with a couple seconds to go in regulation. They needed that win. That was a good morale boosting win. And shout out to Matt Ryan as well. This guy was driving DoorDash a year ago, and then was obviously back in the league with the Celtics, and has now found a home in LA. So a great journey for him, capping that off with that game winner last night. Yeah, from DoorDash to hitting, game-tying threes inside Crypto.com arena. Man, the Lakers are going to be scouring the food delivery apps for more shooters. Only in America, BK. Just quickly before we get out of here on that play, you mentioned the pass as well, but Lakers coach Darvin Ham said the play was definitely intended for Ryan. Austin Reeves threw a hell of a pass, he said. And I say to that, yeah, right. That was definitely intended for Ryan. Hey, and while we're here, shout out to six man of the year candidate Russell Westbrook. I'm
Yeah.
back on the island.
And listen, that's another thing that we spoke about last week, isn't it, BK? We said that he should be coming off the bench. That's probably his ideal role, and he's flourishing so far.
He's cooking these second units. If he's happy to accept that role, like that's a good look for the Lakers. They look a lot more balanced with Russ just terrorizing bench players from the other teams.
And I might be back on Westbrook Island if he starts performing.
Hey, we got room. We got space.
All right, BK, that's going to do it from you today. Appreciate you joining us. We'll catch you Monday morning.
Always, my brother.
All right, time to bring on our resident betting expert, the Magic Man himself, two-time NBL champion, Mr. Andrew Parkinson. Parky, good morning.
Good morning, Nick. We did okay the other day. We both went 2-1 in our pick, so it was nice of us for both of us to have a winning day.
Yeah, look, me and BK is starting to get some of these storylines and narratives right. Not starting, but we're getting them right now. Some of our predictions are coming through. Our picks are coming through here. I reckon we know what we're talking about on this show.
No, it was good, and we both agreed on the Suns to cover that small spread against the Timberwolves. It was 3.5, and they did that quite easily. So I think that could be something for our listeners, our audience out there. That if you and I ever agree on a pick, then load up on it, because if we agree on it, it comes through. Whereas the Bulls and Nets, you had the Nets, I had the Bulls. And then the Golden State at the Heat. You had the Heat, I had the Golden State Warriors. And my Warriors have gone into a bit of a hole. They're 3-5 now. So, so we're 2-1. So the total season record is 14-16-1 for you, Nick. And I'm 14-9-1.
Okay.
So, so it's not too bad. If you combine those, we're still above that 50% mark. So, yeah, we're not doing too bad. We'll see how we go today.
Let's see how we go today. Only 2 games on the NBA schedule today, Parky. Let's start off. We're going to take a look at the Warriors and the Magic. The Warriors, despite that 3-5 record that you mentioned, they're heading into this one favorites at $1.23. Orlando Magic, $4.40. Lines at 9.5. The totals at 226.5. Live on NBA League Pass. Parky, the Warriors have lost 3 in a row. They're coming up against the Magic, who are just 1-7. Obviously, a very young team. No Dante DiVincenzo for the Warriors today. What are you seeing from this one, Parky?
Yeah, well, there's been a lot of money coming for the Warriors. That line's blown out to 9.5. It was a flat 8. It opened at. So, yeah, the money's coming for the Warriors. And look, I think the Warriors are going to win this game. I think they'll get back on track. But they're going to win by at least double figures. So I'm going to actually stay away from that spread myself. What I do like is the over. The Magic against Western Conference teams in the last 4 games have gone over. And they are a bit of an over team, a bit like Golden State as well. So, yeah, I think that over, that 226.5, I'm liking that.
Yeah, I am with you right across the board there, Parky. I'm taking the Warriors, double figures, and I also like the over for the exact same reasons you mentioned. So I think we're agreeing on every single one of those.
Well, that's good. Well, punters, load up then.
There you go. That's guaranteed money right there.
Gamble responsibly. We should also correct ourselves. Gamble responsibly. But I think this league has been very high scoring so far. So I think that continues in this game. And the next game I like the over as well.
All right, well, let's take a look at that next game right now. We've got the Denver Nuggets at the Oklahoma City Thunder. Nuggets, $1.39 favorites. OKC, $3.10. Lines at 6.5. Totals at 227.5. That one's going to be live on ESPN. The Thunder are surging, Parky. They've won 4 straight. So both these teams are both 4-3 now. Now, interestingly, the Thunder are at 3-1 at home, which is where this game is being played today, and the Denver Nuggets a 1-3 on the road. So, is that going to play a factor in today's result?
I think it will. Well, they played about a week or so ago in Denver, and Denver won by 5, 122-117. So, I see this one going very similar, and I think, as you mentioned, OKC at home are a little bit better team. So, the role players play better at home generally, and the money's been coming for OKC. The line opened at 6. It's now plus 6.5. The money's been coming for the Nuggets, but I actually like OKC to cover the spread at home in this. I actually like the plus 6.5. They could even sneak a win. I mean, they've had some really great wins. OKC, I think they beat the the Clippers twice, and they beat Dallas as well. So I think they're capable of hanging with the Nuggets, and to get that 6.5 point start, I really like. And as I mentioned in the last game, I'm liking the over in this as well. It's 227.5, and the Nuggets are a bit of an over team. The last 13 games, 9 of those have gone over. So I think that trend is going to continue in this one.
Yeah, I'm with you, Parky. I'm also taking the over. I'm picking OKC to win at home, and they're going to win by 6.
That's a big call, because they're $4. What were they? $4.40 or something. So that's a huge call for them to win. But look, they're capable. They've had some wins and they're at home. So who knows?
Well, we're going to find out in a few hours' time, I'm sure.
Yes, we will. And I know we're not going to cover it. We don't have the numbers, but I know that they've been coming along the bottom of the screen. But there's a good NBL game tonight in Cairns where United, I think, a good value at $2 too. So that's just another little tip there for the punters.
There you go. Parky says, put the money on United to win tonight. All right, Parky. We're going to catch you again on Monday morning. Enjoy your weekend, mate.
Well, Monday week, actually, I'm going to have a week off.
Yes, that's right. So, we'll catch you the week after.
So I'll see you, Monday week, the 14th it is. So I'll be ready, ready for some action back around that time.
That's right. Enjoy your week up there in the north. All right, guys, that's been another episode of the Last Shot NBA show right here on Little Birdie TV, brought to you by our great mates at topsport.com.au. We'll see you guys Monday morning.